Hi everyone, I'm Kathy, and welcome to Kathy's Happy Home, and the first of a series I'm doing on Sunday mornings called Sunday Praise. And today the title is Fishers of Men, and I'm going to take the text from Luke chapter 5, verses 1 to 11. On one occasion, while the crowd was pressing in on him to hear the word of God, he was standing by the lake of Gennesaret, and he saw two boats by the lake, but the fishermen had gone out of them, and were washing their nets. Getting into one of the boats, which was Simon's, he asked him to put out a little from the land. And he sat down and taught the people from the boat. And when he had finished speaking, he said to Simon, "Put out into the deep, and let down your nets for a catch." And Simon answered, "Master, we toiled all night, and took nothing. But at your word I will let down the nets." And when they had done this, they enclosed a large number of fish, and their nets were breaking. They signaled to their partners in the other boat to come and help them. And they came and filled both the boats, so that they began to sink. But when Simon Peter saw it, he fell down at Jesus' knees, saying, "Depart from me, for I am a sinful man, O Lord." For he and all who were with him were astonished at the catch of fish that they had taken. And so also were James and John, sons of Zebedee, who were partners with Simon. And Jesus said to Simon, "Do not be afraid, from now on you will be catching men." And when they had brought their boats to land, they left everything and followed him. So my first question to you today is, what is a disciple? If you were here with me in one of my Bible studies, I'd be expecting all of you to have an answer to that. What is a disciple? Think about that. Are disciples of someone, are the disciples of someone limited in the number? Like, can there only be 10 or 12 or 15? Well, a disciple is a follower or student of a teacher. When we hear of a disciple, we think of the 12 disciples of Jesus. But anyone who is a leader or a teacher can have disciples. And they aren't limited to 12. Jesus would Jesus would take his 12 chosen followers, teach them, and then send them out to teach others. Before these men began following Jesus, they had lives and jobs of their own. We know at least 4 of them, Andrew, Peter, James, and John, were fishermen. And today, we think of fishing as being a leisure activity, something that we do in our spare time or for pleasure. But even today, there are professional fishermen. And we know that because of all the great seafood we have in our stores. But that's what they did. And fishing, it's not an easy job. It's a hard job. And it takes a lot of not only skill, but physical labor. So let me ask you a question. Have you ever tried to do something and failed? This night was a night where the fishermen had been out fishing all night. And got nothing. And can you imagine spending 8, 9, 10 hours out on the lake fishing and you come up empty every single time? The fish they were catching were more active at night, and that's why they went out fishing at night. But they got nothing. It must have been really, really discouraging for them. And they must have been very tired by this time. Like I said, it wasn't an easy job. But, we all get discouraged. And the other day, I was trying to open a jar of honey. In fact, this jar right here. And the lid was on really tight. I guess that should be tightly. So I, took a knife, was heading it, trying to get it to budge. Nothing. So then I tried one of those rubber squares that you use. It wouldn't open with that either. I tried running it under warm water and no luck. And Joe was asleep, so I didn't want to wake him up and try to open it. And I gave up because I was so discouraged. That's how these men were feeling too. Suppose, as I was struggling with that jar, a person I had never seen before, a stranger, came up to me and said, "You're doing that all wrong. Here's how you do it." Do you think I would try again just because some guy I had never seen before told me to do it that way? Well, Peter, even though he was tired and thought he knew better, chose to trust the stranger. And of course, you've gathered by now that the stranger was Jesus. Peter chose to trust Jesus. And we should feel the same way. When there's a choice, even if we don't understand, we should trust Jesus. No matter how we feel, we should trust Jesus. Thanks for watching, and remember to follow Jesus and to trust him. I'll be back next week with another Sunday praise. In the meantime, I have a few videos coming up this week that I hope you'll enjoy. See you then.